You could pursue your dreams, take chances, have adventures, or you could work behind a desk for 40 hours a week and watch as your soul and your passions slowly rot away. Your choice. Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Bentley. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell below so you never miss a video. Today we're going to talk all about finding your purpose. And what a lot of people don't realize is that your purpose is your why, like why you're doing different things. We need to find the why behind our why, if that makes sense. There are certain people, older generations in particular, that have this notion that pursuing your dreams or finding your passion is either a mark of privilege or it's for people who just don't want to work. The truth is that taking the steps to find your passion and live that out is an obscene amount of work. And once you figure out what that passion or purpose is, you may make a living, but you will probably never work a day in your life. So why is it so absolutely crucial that we find our purpose? Well, for one thing, if we don't have a purpose, if we don't have something that lights our fire and gets us out of bed in the morning, besides coffee, obviously there's coffee, but if we don't have that thing that just fires us up, we just kind of drift aimlessly. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have periods of rest where you just kind of coast a little bit, but if that's all you ever have, what are you doing? If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm a pretty goal-oriented person. I like goals and projects, and if I don't have that, I start to get bored. And when I get bored, there's this thing, and all of us do it, whether we're bored or not, whether we're by ourselves or with friends, I start to scroll. Scroll, scroll. You know how it goes. And the thing is that doing that creates more of the same. It reinforces bad habits, and it just kind of sucks us into this vortex. Anyway, my point is that we are spending our lives caring way too much about whose kid used the potty for the first time today, or who is outraged that they got passed by somebody that they thought was going too fast on the road, and not figuring out what to do with our own lives. So put down your phone, step out of Facebook court, and stop drifting aimlessly. Another good reason why you should be working on finding your passion and finding your purpose is because without it, we just settle for status quo. I just started reading a really great book called Off the Clock, and it's talking about exchanging your busy for being productive. And that's a big thing that I like to focus on. Like, I like to get a lot of things that matter to me into my day. And so anything that I can do to help me create more of that in my life, I want to do. The author talks a lot about how there was this one particular morning and she was for a run on the beach, and she had this like, oh my gosh, what's next? What do I have to do? And she's like, no, wait, I'm off the clock. Like, I don't have anything to do. I don't have anywhere to be. I can just literally enjoy my life doing this thing that I want to do right now. And I think that that's something that all of us can learn from. Because here's the thing. While that off the clock feeling is amazing, I think we all enjoy that feeling of being off the clock. If we don't have a purpose or a passion and we don't have intention about our time, we settle for the status quo and we decide that the only existence there can be is suffering through 40 hours behind a desk for those few hours that we get to be off the clock. I wrote about this in my blog post that's kind of along the same lines as this video. I will link it below if you are interested in looking at it. But at one point, I was talking to a client about their new job. I was like, oh, hey, I heard you got a new job. How are you liking it? And they're like, well, it's a job, I guess. Like, I go there for 40 hours a week and then I get a paycheck. And that was basically it. It gets hard sometimes. We've got bills to pay. We got to keep the lights on so we can keep watching YouTube. But I think somewhere in there is time for every one of us, regardless of the situation. I think there is time for every one of us to be able to carve out time in order to look into pursuing our passions and seeing if that's a viable route for us. If you're struggling to find time in your schedule and you think you're too busy, I'm going to link the book down below that I'm reading if you want to check it out. Or if you're really busy, maybe you need to pick it up on Audible. Either way, she teaches us that there is time in our day. We just have to figure out where we're using time that we don't even realize we're using. And finally, I'm going to finish up with something that's a little more woo-woo than some of you probably like. But if you have that thing that's in your heart that speaks to you and you know you want to do it, you were probably created to do that thing. this is something that's been kind of really on my mind a lot lately, because I feel like each of us has that thing that calls to us. If you've been around for a while, you may remember my video about Miss Julie, who is a lady who spends all of her spare time coordinating between people who donate things and homeless people who need the things that are donated. And it really did, for her, it started with a whisper to her, like, this is the thing you're supposed to do. And she pursued it, and it is just blowing up. It's going so amazing. But the point is that when something like that whispers to you, whether you call it God or the universe, that is the thing that you were here to do. That is the thing that you were created to do. In my case, I've been able to find my purpose, or I'm fine-tuning finding my purpose, but my big thing is helping people to feel good about themselves, helping people to improve their lives. And initially, and even still, like, the most direct way to do that was I became a hairstylist. And I mean, if you can impact anybody's self-esteem, you can do it as a hairstylist, let me tell you. But after having done that for so long, I feel like there's another way that I can also help people. And so that's where my channel comes from. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys, is what my purpose is. So I hope that you guys will come along with me as I'm still working out exactly what I need to do to find this purpose. And I would love to hear more about what your purpose is and what your goals and your dreams are, and what is it that you were created to do. Because what's really interesting is that with all this weighing on me and everything else, this past Sunday in our small group, our pastor brought in a devotional book that he's been working on, and he read us a passage, and it was talking about exactly this. It was talking about how that whisper was put inside of you and you were created for it. So I think it'd be good for all of us to remember that we are not here to drift aimlessly, and we are not here to settle for the status quo. So if you need a reason to find your why, that reason is because you were created for this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video helped you out. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you would like to, my blog post is also linked below, and there will also be a link to the book Off the Clock that I am currently reading. If you decide to pick that up, also let me know your thoughts on that as well. I appreciate every person who watches these videos, and I'll see you later. Bye.